Family, it's your favorite queer radio personality, Anna DeShawn, and welcome to another edition of Queer News Live. Family, welcome back. You know how we do. This is Queer News Live, coming to you every Monday at 7 o'clock p.m. and every Thursday at noon, giving you the best, yes, of queer news at the intersections of race and sexuality as it pertains to politics, culture, and entertainment. That's what we do. Every episode drops on Monday mornings, 5 or 6 queer news stories I think you should know about. And this week is actually a special week. Y'all know we in our summer series because we deserve a little respite, a little break from the weekly news. Yes, and my team deserves it too. So one week we're dropping an interview, another week we're dropping a standard episode, right? And I hope y'all have been enjoying them. I have been enjoying being in conversation with folks. And this week, today, we actually dropped our episode with Dr. Everton Blair. If you don't know Everton, tap into the interview and get to know him. He's, of course, an out Black gay man who's running for office in Georgia, okay? Looking to make history in the 13th district. We had an opportunity to talk to him about his platform, about his why, yes, and just about his ethos in general around politics, what he believes in, and who he's fighting for. So tap into the interview today. It's really, really good. His election actually takes place in Georgia next week. So I'm prepping all my Georgia folks, all my people listening in from Atlanta to get to know Dr. Everton Blair and support his work out here, okay? We love some good representation in the world. Guess we do. Also, I want y'all to know on Sunday, if you're not subscribed to our newsletter, what are you doing? queernewspod.substack.com. We dropped a guide, your WNBA All-Star Weekend guide, because there has to be 50 plus events happening around the city this upcoming weekend. And your IG feed can only take so much. Your brain can only take so much. So me and my homie Shayna of the Bad Queers podcast brought our feeds together to bring you this guide. So it's a one-stop shop for all the events that we keep seeing that we think you might be interested in, from family-friendly fun to networking opportunities to the nightlife, because I'm telling you this right now, in all my queer years of being here in Chicago, being out, being lesbian, all the things, I have never seen anything quite like what's happening this upcoming weekend. There are promoters coming into the city from Atlanta, from Houston, from New York, from California, throwing parties here in the city for All-Star Weekend. It is absolute beautiful insanity, okay? And summertime shy, yo, it's going to be an unforgettable time. So if you haven't made your plans yet, maybe you need to finalize your itinerary. Tap into our newsletter and our blog on Substack, queernewspod.substack.com. You will not be disappointed, because one of the first events we talking about is the trivia night that Shayna and I are co-hosting at the new women's sports bar Level in Wrigleyville. It's going to be WNBA trivia. Come on. You think you know? Let's find out. We're going to have some prizes for you too for our winners. So come with your team or come ready to join a team, and let's have fun to kick off All-Star Weekend with a little bit of trivia. Okay. It's going to be a good time. Now, family, you already know every week we come to you with the news or interview or a guest. And today we got a special guest joining us. I'm excited. Victor, I've known Victor for a long time, but Victor has also been somebody who has supported this work for a very, very long time. There was a point where we would do our Purple Tie Fair at Sidetrack on the other side of the bar, and Victor would come and actually set up the Legacy Project display so that we could share queer history as part of the event. And he's just always been so supportive. And so I'm excited that we get Victor here with us tonight to talk not only about the Legacy Project, but LGBTQ history, what it means to teach LGBTQ history in schools here in Illinois, and give y'all the 411. on how y'all can continue to support this work. So, Victor, welcome to Queer News Live.
Welcome indeed. I really love being here. This is so great.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're here. You've been doing this work, the good work, okay, for such a long time. And I'm glad that we can help amplify it some more for folks who may not be as familiar. So, can you tell the good people, let's start in the beginning, what the Legacy Project is?
Well, we are a nonprofit that celebrates the contributions LGBTQ plus people have made to world history and culture. That's sort of it in the nutshell. We have a bunch of different aspects to our work, but everything is united by that central premise, and that's to honor those individuals and to kind of bring them out of the shadows. A lot of these people are folks people have heard of but did not know they were queer, and the rest of them are people who are obscure, but did something that was really important. And we really get off on bringing that story out and starting conversations around this. You know why it matters. A lot of people think it doesn't matter or that it shouldn't matter, and that's all relevant. Because we've been redacted from history, and only by making a concerted effort to put us back into it are we ever going to be part of the story. So that's the reason why we do what we do.
And I'm so glad that you do. And you do it in such a public way. Family, if you don't know, the Legacy Project is the largest, and it's get me right on this stat, but I think I'm right about this. It's the largest, the only maybe outdoor LGBTQ museum in the world.
It's the only one, correct?
It's the only one. And it just happens to be in my favorite city of Chicago. Okay, a place I call home, which actually makes me really, really proud. And honestly, anybody from Chicago should be really proud that we are home to the only outdoor LGBTQ museum in the world. And Victor, you've been able to build this. How does
Step
that
by
feel?
step, step by step. It sometimes it always feels like somebody else did it, and I'm just the one to talk about it. Because it took so many people to make it happen, or else it would still just be an idea in my head. But it was inaugurated in 2012, and now we've dedicated some 54 bronze memorials on the Legacy Walk, recognizing people from every kind of facet of life, a variety of different careers across historical timelines, and put their stories out there on the Legacy Walk in the format of a 18 by 24 bronze memorial with a biography on it, around 350 word biography or so. So you can walk up and read about the individual and what they did in their life and why it matters. We also do live tours, private guided tours of the Legacy Walk, where I talk about not only the information that's on the plaque, but some anecdotal information about the person as well. And in addition to the Legacy Walk, we have the Legacy Wall, which is its cousin. It's a traveling trade show installation that's been to 55 cities in the United States. That brings the stories of about 125 people on the Legacy Wall, go to different areas and get parked at libraries and corporate centers and things like that. And then there's the education program, which we'll get into in a little bit, where everybody on the Legacy Walk has a lesson plan, actually 4 lesson plans written for them, which are now part of the Illinois public school curriculum.
And family, for those who are joining and watching this, I pulled up one of those pieces that are on Halsted, right? One of the pylons, so people could actually see it. Because if you've lived in Chicago, you spent any time in North Halsted, you've seen them, but maybe you haven't stopped. And they're just so beautiful. Victor, who designed these? Who said that
I
this is
did.
what this should look like?
I did.
You designed this.
Yeah, my
What was
background's actually architecture. So,
beautiful? What was the inspiration?
well, the inspiration actually went back to 1987 at the March on Washington for Lesbian and Gay Rights. We hadn't quite matured enough as a community to include everybody else in the alphabet with us. It was just lesbian and gay rights at the time. And several things happened at that march, all within a 24-hour period. It was the first time the day that would come to be known as National Coming Out Day was recognized. It was the first time ACT UP demonstrated at the Supreme Court. It was the first time the Names Project Days Memorial quilt was put on display. And we were living this history, was unfolding all around us. And all I could think of was that now there was a plague that was going to kill every single person there. And we didn't know anything about our shared history. And so that was where the idea came from, to find a way to cast in bronze and preserve in a free, open air manner the ability to read these stories and share them between the generations, because we don't have that intergenerational memory transfer thing that other cultures have. You know, there are no gay grandpas regaling kids from the table at Thanksgiving. So this is our way of communicating with the future.
I think that's so beautiful. I didn't know the history behind it in that way. And to be there for so many firsts, and then to be inspired to create something to ensure that legacy lives on. I mean, I think this is the work that we all can do. And this is why I think all of us can create the change that we want to see in the world. And Victor, you mentioned about the actual walk as well. And here, family, once again, if you're watching this, I've pulled up an image that outlines where every person that you all have honored, where their statuesque essentially is actually located on North Halsted Street. This is quite the list, Victor.
Yeah, it's an impressive list of people, and they're all very different from each other. I always had this idea that I wanted to be like eating potato chips, where you'd read one and you'd go, "Huh, that was interesting," and it would make you want to read the next one as you're walking down the street.
150%. Do you got a favorite?
Well, my favorite is Alan Turing, who was my inspiration for creating the Legacy Walk in a lot of ways, because I wanted to create a place to put a plaque to him. And so that's probably the one that I gravitate to the most. Alan Turing was the father of computer science and the father of artificial intelligence. And his story is an amazing one. It's also a tragic one, as some of our stories are tragic. That's just the reality of it, you know. But Turing was tapped by the British government to break the Nazi Enigma code during World War II. And shortly after the war, because they did break the Enigma code and made something like D-Day possible. Shortly after the war in 1951, he wrote a paper on computing and machine intelligence, which is where he proffered the idea that a machine would be able to think and mimic human activity. And for that reason, he's considered the father of artificial intelligence as well. But the year after he wrote that paper, he was arrested for being gay and given a choice between chemical castration and imprisonment. And he chose chemical castration because he thought he would still be able to work, not realizing that he would lose his security clearance and everything. So he actually was not able to work. And in the last 2 years of his life, sort of dissipated and fell into despair. And 2 weeks before his 42nd birthday, bit into an apple he'd laced with cyanide and committed suicide. The legacy of Alan Turing is all around us. It's in everything that we touch and everything that we do. It's probably one of the reasons why this Queercast is able to actually take place, is because everything we have has a computer chip in it, and he's the father of binary code of ones and zeros. So his story is very tragic, but it's also very ennobling, because history has finally treated Alan Turing right. You know, now he's a celebrated character in British history. His face is on the 50-pound note in England, and he's now regarded as a national hero, something that would have been unimaginable to him in his own lifetime. So it's a very inspirational story. And when I heard it at the time, I had just actually been inducted into the Gay and Lesbian Hall of Fame. I'm not blowing smoke up my own skirt here. This is the point of the story. I was in the Hall of Fame, and yet I read about this man and nobody knew who he was. And I was like, who the hell am I that I should be in a Hall of Fame when this guy changed the course of history and nobody knows who he is? And that's when the idea of, like, the pipe dream of creating the Legacy Walk became an obsession. I had to create the Legacy Walk so I would have a place to put a plaque for him. So that's the story about Alan Turing and why he means so much to me.
Absolutely. And for those who don't know Alan Turing, now you do. And this is why LGBTQ history and sharing our history is so incredibly important. Other people who have also been honored on the Legacy Walk: Audre Lorde, James Baldwin, Josephine Baker. I mean, Jane Addams, Lorraine Hansberry, Frida Kahlo, Barbara Giddings, Vito Russo. I mean, the Keith Haring, Freddie Mercury. I mean, the list is just incredible. And Cole Porter, the Pink Triangle, history that is so easily lost when we don't get to tell it and preserve it. Um, and family, I'm telling you right now, visiting the Legacy Walk is such a mandatory activity, especially in the summertime of Chicago, to just take some time and walk the street and take in this history, because the when you realize that you weren't the first ones here, that so many people fought and died on your behalf, it gives you some sense of purpose in the work that you want to do out here in the world too.
Absolutely.
That's what history does for me. And like you mentioned, Victor, the Legacy Walk, it was the beginning, it was where you started, but the, the Legacy Project now encompasses so much more. And part of that are the curriculums that you all have put together. And you mentioned it, that for every statuette, there's also 4 pieces of curriculum that go along with each person. Is that right?
Yeah, they're age appropriate. So there's like 4 tracks to the lesson plans. So there's a K through 2, 3 through 5, 6 through 8, and 9 through 12 grades. Each one is written differently, and each one is resourced differently. And the biographies are tailored to the age of the student reading it, so that it's obviously much more simplified for younger children, and gets more sophisticated as they get older. So there's probably, considering that there's 4 per person, there's probably like 400 of them, I'd say, on the website now. And there it was specifically designed to allow for the seamless integration of this information into existing school curriculum. So what it's done is there's a search engine that people can go and search either by the particular Illinois standard that they're trying to teach to, or by the subject in school, or by the grade that they're trying to teach to, or by demographics. There's a demographic filter on there. There's like 8 different filters altogether, and they can pick out, what the subject matter is and the age of the children that are supposed to be experiencing it, and plug it all in, and then the search engine spits out all the people that fall into that category that would have something to do, if they're studying about World War II, or if they're talking about the American Revolution, or whatever it is that they're talking about. It brings up the individuals who could then actually be worked into existing school curriculum on that subject matter.
Which is a really important point, because here in Illinois, Governor Pritzker signed legislation that we teach LGBTQ history here in the state of Illinois. And they can come to your website as a hub to grab the curriculum that they would like to incorporate into their classrooms. Is that the right idea?
Yeah, that's right. We serve the teachers of Illinois. They just have to register to use it. It's free, but we just like to be able to track a little bit who's using it. And then once they're in and they're registered, they can access for free any of the information that's on there, and it's all downloadable. It's pretty sophisticated. I'm actually really proud of the education program, and it's something that most people don't even know that it's there. But it's actually really pretty cool. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, I created an account because I wanted to check it out, and I was like, "Oh, this is really in depth." And the search and all of the options, I was like, "This was a huge undertaking."
Yes, it was.
I was like, somebody put a lot of work into this, and what a gift! What a gift it is, family. If you're tuning in, listening, watching, you can see we got a ticker going at the bottom of the screen, because I want y'all to go visit the website so y'all can see everything we're talking about here. Legacyprojectchicago.org. All right. Go visit. check out not only the virtual tours that are available for the Legacy Walk in case you're not in Chicago, but you can actually search all the inductees and find out more about their history. I must tell you, Victor, I love sharing Lorraine Hansberry's story, especially after I went to the Obama Presidential Center and I saw a copy of the ladder. And the first thing I thought about was the fact that Lorraine Hansberry, used to pen in the ladder. Uh,
Right.
and use her initials or her pen name, Emily Jones. And there's very few places where you can find that information, but I can find that information at the Legacy Project. And I just think that it is those types of gems that really do mean a lot to someone like me.
Well, that's cool. It's nice to hear. I
Yeah.
always like hearing anecdotal information from people who use it, because we do it, but we do it kind of in a vacuum. We're not in the classroom. We're just making tools that are available for the classroom. So we don't really get to experience much unless we talk to people who have used it themselves.
And ironically, you realize that somebody was using it because they got in trouble for using it. All right.
Yes, they did.
They started teaching LGBTQ history, and a couple parents got up in the uproar about it. Tell me what that was like when you heard about that story.
In a way, I kind of figured that it was only a matter of time before it would happen. That the Trump administration would come down on school systems that were employing any information or anything in their curriculum that spoke to what they would consider to be the devil of DEI. Um, and they targeted 36 Illinois school districts for their use of these materials, and citing that they were in violation of basically Trump's agenda because they haven't actually broken any laws by doing this. And it is, of course, it's a states' rights issue. It's mandated in the state of Illinois, so these schools weren't doing anything wrong. And it was funny because just the week before, when they had branded people who did what I did as terrorists.
Mm.
and anybody who was like a domestic person who worked in nonprofit was a terrorist. And
Yes.
and then the schools were taken up for being the purveyors of this information. And I thought, talk about how times change. From one week to the next, you never know what's going to come out of this administration. But it was kind of energizing to hear how many school districts were actually using the curriculum. So that was actually nice. It was an unfortunate way to learn about it, but it was nice to hear.
I would
Because
imagine
it's used a lot.
Yeah, because you put in all this work, you craft this beautiful project of curriculum for per right individual based upon age, and so thoughtfully put together. Then to find out because someone is under uproar because 36 school districts across the state at least are using it right to educate young people. It's like six in one hand, half a dozen in the other, as my mother would say.
Right.
But to know that they were protected in the state of Illinois, though, goes a long way. Um, Dr. Maya Green is in the building saying, awesome, Victor, for this work and what you're doing. And I want people to know how they can support you too in this moment, because this is not easy work. And what you're doing right now in the face of this administration, right, is can sometimes, I'd imagine, because I know how it feels for me, like an impossible task. Um, and, and so one of the things you have to do is fundraise. And I know you've got an event coming up, right? The yacht
There's
party.
yacht parties coming up in a couple
Tell
of
the good
weeks.
people about the yacht party.
So it's a blast. We go out on the Anita D, which is the boat that's pictured there, and it holds a couple hundred people. And we got DJ Miles spinning tunes. So there's a dance floor. There's a 3-hour open bar. There's a gourmet appetizer buffet by J&L Catering. And it all ends up with us poised underneath the fireworks at Navy Pier. at the end. So it's a 3-hour lake cruise, and it's a blast. People have such a good time, and we're looking forward to doing it. This will be our 6th year.
It's your 6th year. Very good. And they can go to legacyprojectchicago.org to get their
Yeah,
tickets.
go right there on the homepage. They can buy tickets.
All right, family, this is what must be done. We must support organizations like the Legacy Project. And this is one way we do it, by buying tickets. If you can't make it, you can sponsor a ticket maybe for somebody else to attend. And what a great way to celebrate the work and do a fundraiser, on a yacht party, and then get to enjoy the fireworks of Navy Pier at the end. Sounds like a great time.
Yeah, it's fun.
Victor, is there anything else you want the good people to know about the work in this moment?
Well, we're looking for board members. If anybody's
Oh.
interested, we have a whole spectrum of different skill sets that we're looking to fill. So they can contact me directly by going through the website. Just click on the contact me page. That comes directly to me, and I can bring you up to date more with that, talking about what our board members do and who we have and who we'd like to have on board. That's always a big thing. We're trying to really expand the board right now. It's a working board, so you're not going to just be sitting there on your laurels. You're going to actually have to do something. It's a lot of fun. We're really a very fun bunch of people, and we have a good time together. We've all become good friends over the years. So
Yeah. I love it. All right, family, you heard the word. If you're interested in board service, the Legacy Project is looking for board members. Visit the legacyprojectchicago.org, go to the contact page and reach out to Victor, okay? And if maybe you know someone else who you think would be a great fit for this, there's so many ways to serve in our community, and sometimes I think we don't always know how we want to show up. I am a person of the church, all right? So time, talent, treasure. And board service is one of those times and treasures and talents. It's one of those things where all of it come together as one. And we need folks who are organizationally minded, who are interested in the sustainability of our nonprofit organizations out here, especially during times like these, where the federal government doesn't want to see or acknowledge our humanity, right? And so it is in these moments where our organizations are even more important and more critical. And so thanks, Victor, for staying in it.
it's my life's calling. I get very fortunate I get to do the thing that I've always wanted to do, so no matter how difficult it is, I still know what I'm doing when I wake up every morning, and it means a lot to me. So
And it
thank
means a
you.
lot to
Thank
it
you
means a
for
lot
me
to other
for all the
people.
people.
Yeah. Thanks, Victor. Because I know it means a lot to other people too. So thanks for joining me tonight.
Absolutely. It's a great time.
Yeah. Family, you got the word, okay? We even got an amen. What's going on, Jahari? Amen. Okay. So thank y'all so much for joining us tonight on Queer News Live. Y'all know what we do here. This is about queer news. This is about giving y'all the information that you may not get on your feeds, right? That you may not see in a newsletter. It's about amplifying those in our community who are doing good work and those we should be supporting and collaborating with and all the good things. Yes, we dropped a new episode today. It's Monday. Yes, and today's episode featured Dr. Everton Blair, who's running for office down in Georgia, the 13th district. They're voting, okay, next week. And you all should know him, all right? Out Black gay man out here looking to make history in Georgia, if in fact elected. He is worth knowing and supporting, okay? We got trivia. WNBA All-Star Weekend is this weekend. Come out and support me and Shayna co-hosting trivia night at Level Sporting Club. If you don't have your itinerary together just yet for the All-Star Weekend, don't worry. We got you. Queer News got you. Okay, on our Substack, go visit this blog post, okay? queernewspod.substack.com. Let me roll the banner for you, okay? Go make your itinerary. We've included 20 plus events that we've been seeing on our feeds. We put our minds together and we made your guide, okay? Don't sleep on this weekend. I've never seen anything like it. Yes, it's going to be a good time outside. And even if you don't go to the game, because the tickets are expensive, there are so many watch parties happening across the city that I think are going to be lit, and because they all are sponsored by somebody, okay? It's going to be worth going outside and being in community, because it's in times like these where we need community, where sometimes just showing up is enough. Okay. And don't you forget it. Family, it's Anna DeShawn, your favorite queer news personality. And this is Queer News Live. See you Thursday. Peace.